Hello everyone and welcome back. In this SudokuPrimer video we're going to just do an easy puzzle. I haven't done an easy one for a while, and I know there are some of you who are just getting started learning the basics, and so I'll do an easy puzzle here. I'm going to try and stick with concepts on this one so that those of you who are just getting started will be able to follow along and be able to learn some things, hopefully. This is puzzle number 30 from Sudoku to Go, volume 90 by Soap Opera Digest. And so I'll just kind of solve it using probably row completion, column completion, box completion, and maybe a little bit on using sections, and I'll talk about each of those things. I like to usually go through sections first, but right now we've got a couple of rows here that they're only missing two numbers. So let's start with those. Let's look at this right here. We've got 7 of the 9 numbers in this row already. So let's see what we're missing. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 6 here. And there's a 6 right here, so we know that can't be a 6. So that's a 1. And therefore, we've got a 6 left over. Now, so that's what's called row completion. Column completion is where you look at a column that's missing numbers and you try and fill in the numbers in the cells that have numbers that are missing. Box completion is where you look at a box and you look and see what's missing and try and fill in those numbers. And then let me just do a little bit of sections just so you get an idea of what that is and how it works. Each of these is a section. That's a section, that's a section, this is a section. Those are 3 boxes together in a horizontal group, and then 3 boxes together in vertical groups. And when you look at sections like that, you can narrow down what numbers are missing. Let me look at this top section right here. We've got a 7 in this box already and a 7 in this box already. So we know only one 7 is missing, and that's in this box. It can't be in this row because there's a 7 there already, and it can't be in the middle row for 2 reasons. It's already, that row's got a 7, and the other reason is there are no empty cells there. So we know the 7 has to go in one of these 2 places, and we've got a 7 right there, so we can fill that in. Okay, so that's solving sections, and we'll probably do some more of that. Let's look at this row right here, and we'll try and, well, before I do that, let me look at this box right here. I'll just give you an example of box completion. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, and 9. So if we can find 5s and 9s that this box can see, we might be able to find a number or 2 here. We've got a 5 right here, so we know this can't be a 5. And we've got a 5 right here, so we know this can't be a 5. So that's a 5 right there. Okay, now looking at sections, let's look at this section right here. I just filled in this 5, and there's a 5 here, so we know that a 5 has to be in this column inside this box because there's a 5 in these 2 boxes already. And there's a 5 there already, so we can fill in a 5 right there. So that's See, so I talked about box completion and solving sections in this horizontal section right here. Now what do we have left here? I think it's 2 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 2 and 9 are missing still here. And there's a 9 there, so we know that's a 2. And there's a 9. Okay, so I just completed that box using box completion. Let's look at this column right here, and we'll do column completion on that because it's almost done. We've already got 1, let's see, 1, 2, well, we've got 2 missing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 7 are missing, and there's a 7 right there. So we can fill those in, you see, because that has to be a 2, it can't be a 7. And this is the only number left, so that's a 7. Okay, and then let's look at sections again. We've got a 7 here and a 7 here, so one of these is a 7. We've got a 7 there already. Okay, so I've shown you row completion, column completion, and box completion, and sections. So at this point I'm just going to go through and see if I can solve the rest of the puzzle just using those 4 techniques: row completion, column completion, box completion, and sections. First of all, I'll do sections. Here's a 1 missing, or here's a 1 right here, and here's a 1 right here. So we know one of these is a 1. That doesn't narrow it down very much. Okay, but what about in this box right here? We've got a 1 here and a 1 here. So we know this is a 1. Okay, so in this box, these can't be 1s anymore because we know we've got a 1 there, and we've got a 1 here. So one of these two is a 1. Okay, so let's just look through sections. Here's a 1 right here, and this is the only cell that is left in this box that needs a 1 because these can't be a 1. So we can fill that in. Okay, let's do row completion on this one right here. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 2. We're missing 1 and 2 right here. I don't think we can do anything. We can't solve those right now because we don't have a 1 or a 2 here. So what about, let's look at this 1 right here. 1, 1. So one of these is a 1, and we've got a 1 there already. So we can fill that in. Got a 1 and a 1 here, and a 1 here. So one of these is a 1. We knew that. We did that a minute ago. And this one of these is a 1. So those are all the ones we can solve at this time. We've got a 2 here and a 2 here. So one of these is a 2. Can't do much with that right now. Got a 2 right here and a 2 here. So one of these is a 2, and we know one of these is a 2 because we have 1 and 2 there. Let's look at the bottom section. Let's see, we've got a 2 here and a 2 here. That's a 2 right there. Now we knew that not because we saw a 2 in this column, but because we saw a 2 here. So that can't be a 2. And we saw a 2 here, so we knew that has to be a 2. Now what are we missing here in this box right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're missing an 8. That one's pretty easy because it's the only number left in that box. Let's see if we can complete this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need a 4 and a 6, and there's a 4 right there. So we can fill those in. Let's look at this box right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, and 9 are missing. And look, here's a 6 and a 9, so we know that's a 3. Here's a 3 and a 9, so we know that's a 6. And now we've only got one number left, so we can finish up with a 9. Okay, now we've only got 2 cells missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 and 6 are missing here. And there's a 4 right there. So we can fill those in. And now we've got a 4 and a 4 here, so we know that's a 4. Okay. We've got a 4 here and a 4 here. We've got a 4 here and a 4 here, so we know this is a 4 right there. And I think we've got all our 4s now. Yep, all our 4s are done. Okay, let's look at this column right here. We've got 2 numbers missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 7 are missing. We don't have a 2 or a 7 here, and we don't have a 2 or a 7 in this box yet. What about this? We got a 7 here, so we know that can't be a 7, so that's a 2. And therefore, that's a 7. Okay, let's look at this row right here. We've got 3 numbers missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, and 8. Let's see if we can finish that one. Here's a 1 and an 8, so we know that's a 2. And now we're only missing a 1 and an 8 there. And we don't have a 1 or an 8 here in either of these columns, so we can't do anything with those yet. This row should be easy. We've only got 1 number left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 2. Let's see. Let's look at this box right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 6 are missing. And there's a 6, so we can fill in that box or complete it. So I hope you're getting the concepts. They're pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Let's look at this row right here. And while you're doing that, if you remember numbers, like we've got a 1 and a 2 missing here and a 1 and an 8 missing here, as soon as you fill one of these cells in with a 1 or a 2 or an 8, or I'm sorry, let's see, yeah, 1, 2, or 8, that's right. As soon as you fill in one of these with a 1, 2, or an 8, you'll know what these are, and you can fill them in. Let's look at this bottom row right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's missing a 2 and a 7. There's a 7, so we can put a 2 there and a 7 there. Now, what do we have here? 1 and 8. We didn't put in a 1 or an 8, so we can't solve those yet, but we can solve these. These are 1 and 2 now. 1 goes there because of this 2. And now we can solve this one because we have 1 and 8 up here. So the 1 goes there and the 8 goes there. Okay, let's look at this row right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 and 8. There's an 8, so we can finish that row. Now we've only got 1 number left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that's a 9. We've got our other 9s here in this section. This section is the only thing left now. So one of these is a 9, and we've got a 9 there, so we can fill that 9 in. And now we've only got 1 number left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 3. Now what's missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 and 8. And there's an 8 there, so we know that's a 5 and that's an 8. We've only got 3 numbers left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 5, and 6. Here in the bottom we've got a 3 and a 6, so that's a 5. And what's left up here? 3 and 6. You notice how the numbers you found here to fill in this one are the numbers that are left over for this up here. Okay, so 3 and 6 are missing. There's a 3. So 6 there and 3 there. Okay. All right. Well, we solved the entire easy puzzle using fairly simple concepts. If you're new to Sudoku, then hopefully that will help you solve an easy puzzle. You should be able to grasp those concepts pretty quickly, and then you can move on to medium puzzles and start solving them, where you'll need a little bit more advanced techniques. But there are a lot of medium puzzles that you can solve just using those techniques I just showed you. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.